Our next speaker is leading a revolution of sorts. The new government statistician is a highly regarded public servant, 24 years experience of leadership. Her previous role was Deputy Chief Executive, Strategy and Governance at the Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment. She held a key role there, shaping the department's strategy and direction. Well, now she's got a whole new challenge. She is charged with leading Statistics New Zealand's Change Modernisation Programme. It's called Statistics 2020. Please welcome the government statistician, the first woman to hold the role, Liz McPherson.
Thank you, Susan. Tēnā koutou katoa, nō mai, haere mai. It's my great pleasure to welcome you here to the 2014 Official Statistics User Forum. And for me, coming into the role as government statistician, I remember saying to Len Cook, I can't think of a more exciting time to step into this role. And for me, it seems that there's never been a more exciting or challenging time to be in the information business. You've just heard from the Minister that he shares that excitement. When you think about the situation we're in at the moment, we've got data that is available to decision makers expanding exponentially. The quote that I put in the handbook was that by 2020 the world is expected to have generated about 40 zettabytes of data, which is about 5,000 gigabytes per individual. That's a huge amount of data that we can put to use. And it arrives in a variety of different forms. There's the official statistics we're talking about today, there's public admin data, private sector customer-based data, data in a whole variety of different shapes and forms that varies considerably in its quality, but we still need to consider it. And the data revolution that Susan spoke about is being fuelled by tools that make the data more available, more accessible physically, visually and analytically than ever before. It's an incredibly exciting time to be part of this revolution. And users who, as the Minister said, expect to be able to access that data from wherever they are, whenever. And we need to be able to respond to that challenge. But perhaps the most exciting thing from my perspective is the fact that we can now think about the ability to integrate data in new ways. But I want to stop at this point, and I just want to say it's great to have the amazing data. It's great to have the new tools. It is wonderful to think about what we could do by integrating it. But it is that question that I want to come back to, which is, why are we doing this? It's not mathematics. In mathematics, I know that it's true to talk about beautiful equations, and statistics can be beautiful in their own right. But we're all here because we want to actually make a difference. So I want to just very quickly take you back to the origins of applied statistics, and in particular to talk to you about the pioneer of applied statistics and visualisation. And I'm just wondering if people in this room know who I'm talking about. Yes? No? Yeah. The lady with the stats. Now, Florence Nightingale, most of you, when you think about her, will think about the lady with the lamp. You'll think about her as a nurse. But actually, she was the pioneer of what we call applied statistics, helped along with by some mentors, and visualisation. One of the things she came back from the Crimea with was a concern about what she saw there and a desire to make a difference. And so, with some encouragement again, she basically put together some mortality tables and was really shocked to understand, once she actually looked at the data, how many deaths were happening, how they were happening and why. And she also got a sense of what was actually working to make a difference. Now, the mortality she put together, and she put them together herself, looked like this, and she produced a very long booklet. Many of you may have seen it. They looked like this. And she was very concerned that she was not going to be able to convince the powers that be to do anything if she just presented tables that looked like that. In fact, she's quoted as saying that she was very concerned that Queen Victoria's eyes would glaze over and she would not be able to convince her to do something about it. So she came up with what I would consider to be the first infographic. And here, with the wonders of new technology, I'll pull it up. So she converted that table into what is often called the Nightingale Rose. There's a variety of other terms for it. But basically what it shows is the red are the soldiers who died from wounds. The black is soldiers who died from other causes. And the blue, and this all extends out from the centre of the diagram to the edges, are those who actually died from preventable diseases. And in showing this to Queen Victoria, she was actually able to A, stop her eyes from glazing over, and B, convince her that it was necessary to actually make some changes to sanitation, because what in fact caused the difference in what is shown here on the diagram was simply introducing some new sanitation measures. And that then was put in place in military hospitals around the world, including India and other parts of the globe. And as a result, the impact that she had in terms of health extended well beyond the nursing side of things. She actually saved hundreds and thousands of lives and more through the power of statistics. So this is the very first infographic as far as I'm concerned. But just imagine what she would do if she was around today. So I'm just going to show you a few things she'd probably like to do. So she'd probably like to start and say, well, Queen, here's the wounds, death by wounds, here's the death by other causes, and here we have preventable diseases. This is what you could do if you introduced sanitation. She could also look at it from a time series perspective, remembering that it was about in March 1885 that sanitation came in. She could show the Queen this. She could also, if she wanted to, superimpose when the major battles happened. And we often wonder why she didn't use a bar chart in the first place, but she could also have used a bar chart. And she could have shown the Queen that it was around about here that we introduced sanitation, and that's what made the difference. So my point is that we have a huge responsibility, the people sitting in this room. Applied stats and analytics are potent tools to solve real-life problems. They're not just about the beauty of the statistics. They are about solving real-life problems and unlocking opportunities. We sit on what is a huge strategic asset in terms of the data that we hold at Statistics New Zealand and what is held in other government departments and agencies. But as the Minister said, it cannot be harnessed if it's locked away from users, if we don't use the right techniques to make it available and accessible, and if we don't harness that power to really take New Zealand and New Zealanders forward. So we have a responsibility as stewards to realise that potential, but to realise that potential in a way which ensures that security, privacy and confidentiality are appropriately protected. So, in the context of this forum, I look at you both as customers and as partners. And in that context, as users of official statistics and partners, we want to talk about how can we work with you to unlock the great value from New Zealand's key strategic and renewable asset, which is its official data. We want to know how you've used the data. We want to know what you've learnt that can help us lift our game and benefit the broader community. We want to know what outcomes you're trying to achieve. We want to be more customer focused so that we're not just coming to you and saying what do you need statistically. We want to say what outcomes are you trying to achieve, and therefore how can we help you get there? How can we work together? We're also interested in knowing how we can prioritise our effort. So in the final analysis, as the leader of the official statistical system, Stats New Zealand, and in my role I'm very proud to do this, has a critical role in ensuring New Zealand realises the true value of its information assets. But to do that, we need demanding consumers and we need keen partners to help us deliver on that promise. So over these next few days, I look forward to a challenging, stimulating forum and to keeping that conversation going regularly, not just on a 5-yearly basis. Thank you.